Now look at this.
What's up, about penguins? Today we do topic 8.3 on population ecology. So we're going to talk about population ecology. We should know what a population is. So a population is a group of individuals that are the same species that live in the same area. And in case you forgot, the biological species concept states that two individuals are the same species if they're able to interbreed and produce fertile, viable offspring. So these organisms that are within the same population are able to interact in multiple different ways with one another. One example would be interspecific competition. This would be where individuals of the same species are competing for resources. Now, we all know from evolution that those individuals that are more likely to obtain the resource are more likely to survive and thus more likely to pass on those traits. So we're talking about individuals getting the resources. One of the things we can talk about are different adaptations that these organisms have in order to obtain energy and matter within their environment. So a lot of our predators are going to have claws, they'll have fangs, they're going to have sharp teeth, and that's going to allow them to obtain the energy and matter within their environment. Now that you've obtained your energy, of course, what are we going to do with energy? Well, one thing we're going to do is we're going to grow as well as reproduce. So when we think about a population, we always want to think about the population size. So there's different things that can add to a population or remove from the population. Two ways that we can add to our population is, of course, births as well as immigration. So organisms of the same species moving into the area or into our population. We also want to talk about how do we lose individuals? Well, we can lose individuals by deaths as well as immigration, or when they're exiting our population and moving out. So there's a couple different equations that we're going to have to work through in Unit 8. So the first one we'll talk about is population growth. So population growth equation is dn over dt. So the change in our population size over our change in time is going to be equal to b minus d. So birth rate minus death rate. If our birth rate is higher than our death rate, then our population size is going to increase. If our birth rate is less than our death rate, then our population size is going to decrease. So quick math problem for you. Go ahead and pause the video and see if you can answer it. So b should equal 0.067. D should equal 0.133, which means our dn over dt is going to be equal to negative 0.066. So one of the types of growth we can have is exponential growth. In exponential growth, there is nothing to limit the population size. There's no absence of resources. There's no predators that are inhibiting. Nothing stops this population from continuing to grow. And so as you see, it exponentially increases, or it makes a J-shaped curve. So exponential growth is going to be solved by doing R max times N. So R max is our per capita rate of increase, solved by birth rate minus death rate, and N is just the population size. So I got another math problem for you. So go ahead and pause the video, see if you can solve this problem. So the answer is 363.4. I only know the long way to do this, so I actually will do it in stepwise format. So I go through each R times N. And so after the first generation, it grew 19.8. The second generation, it grew 21.10. And the third generation grew 22.5. And so that would have given me 319.8 for the first, 340.9 for the second, and then gave me the grand total of 363.4 for the final. Remember, AP Bio Penguins are just success. Bye, y'all.